Hi, and welcome to Screens in Focus, the podcast where we talk about TV and movies. I'm Diana, and today we are talking about Daryl Dixon, Season 2, Episode 2, Moulin Rouge. Renee is back to join me. Hi, Renee. How are you doing today?
Yeah, hello. I'm doing very well. How about you?
I'm awesome. I can't wait to talk about this episode, and I don't know how you're feeling, so I like that. I like when I we're going to go in and we're going to just cut to the chase here because we are going to talk about that kiss. Okay. That kiss that happened in this episode. So, and we're going to move our question of the day to later on in the episode. So that's how important and how pivotal this moment is. So, and when I talk about the kiss, spoilers, so, get out of here if you don't want to hear about it, but it's the kiss between Daryl and Isabel. So I want to know, Renee, what you thought about it and were you surprised by it?
Well, first of all, I was surprised. You kind of see this something count going between them, whether it's romantic or not, you don't know kind of thing. They got a lot of plans together. They got a lot of things they're working towards together. But as romantic, I don't know. I guess either way, I was like, it could go either way. But the kiss itself, yes, I was surprised by that. When I first watched the episode for the first time, I was like, oh my goodness, the fandom is going to implode. Because anytime Daryl's love life is the topic of things, everyone loses their ever loving minds. Good, bad, ugly, it's all there, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, we got to do this again, It's like Leah all over,
Yeah.
So my initial thing, I thought, oh, they kissed. It didn't seem overly romantic to me. It didn't seem, a lot of people said, oh, it seems so forced. I didn't think it felt forced. I thought it felt so natural. Like it was just like, oh, okay, well, guess what? She's coming with me. So yeah, I'm going to lean in for this kiss.
I got chills. Okay, go ahead.
And so I just feel like it's these two people who are, they're just starting to care very deeply. Again, I don't know that it's romantic, but Daryl's very inexperienced in this, like we know how many people Daryl's been with, and he's just inexperienced. And I kind of feel like he felt like, oh, I think this is something I should do kind of thing, like I'm starting to care for her. And so maybe this is the next step kind of thing. Still not 100% sure, maybe. And maybe he is, but to me, it was more of it was innocent, I thought, like it was just this like, okay, well, here's this gal I care about. Yeah. I mean, everybody has their own opinions, but that's just kind of how, and I didn't feel like it was this whole thing where that moment, that kiss announced Isabel and Daryl forever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Yeah. No. Yes.
But this is just lots of speculation, of course. Like I said, it's Daryl. Everyone's in on this, But I just feel like it was a what if kind of thing. Well, what if this could be more, and exploring that. And I just don't think this kiss cemented anything with them.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people are all worried about Carol. Well, Carol and Daryl, their relationship it doesn't fit a mold. They are their own thing. They have always had they're kindred spirits on another plane that the rest of us can't even understand. They will always love each other. They will always care for each other. And that's been proven time and time again. They've had their disagreements. They've had, where they've separated, I'm going your way, my way, you go yours kind of thing. But they always come back because they're Carol and Daryl, and it's one of those friendships that is everlasting, and it doesn't matter how much time has passed. And it doesn't matter, the circumstances they find themselves in, they come back together. And yes, it may be more than a friendship, but I never felt they were romantic either, but I know a lot of people want it to be that way. And, and I just don't see this affecting Carol because, his relationship with Leah didn't affect Carol. You know what I mean? Like it did on another level, not the fact that he had a girlfriend or whatever they, you called her. Yeah. That part of it didn't affect, and, the kiss I thought was nice. I thought it was very natural. and kind of a next step for Daryl, just because he kind of like, okay, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I was surprised by it. I wasn't expecting it. And yes, we had talked about in season 1, oh, are they feeling something for each other? We weren't sure. It kind of felt like it, but nothing had happened in that season. So here it comes this. It caught me off guard. I was like, what? But I too, I thought it felt natural to me, and it was kind of cool. I was like, cause he just kisses her, or she kisses him, kind of like she leans in, and then they lean in for another kiss, which I'm like, ooh, when you're going for that second one, that's why I'm like, oh, that's just more than just like, oh, we're just kissing each other. The fact that they both went in for a second one, it was good. It was a good kiss. And I really like Isabel as a person. I don't know if I want her to be with Daryl. Like, I don't know if I want that, but I wasn't opposed. It wasn't mad at it. Like, I wasn't like, oh my God, she's not worthy, or anything like that. So that didn't come up, that didn't enter my brain, because she, I like her as a character and as a person, as an actress, all of that. So I was more on Daryl, like, oh, he was feeling this. Oh, he was having these romantic feelings toward her, and this was happening for him. So I was like on his side, having these emotions for him over here. But I guess where my concern came in was, I don't think that Carol's going to be upset about it as far as a romantic relationship. That's not how I took it anyway. I was more afraid as to how this might change Daryl's leaving to go with Carol or not. So that was my worry about that. Also, Carol's had relationships.
Yeah.
So, and Daryl was fine with those. It's not like, and for me personally, I kind of did want them together through all the years, until it might have been the last season or two. I can't remember now when it shifted for me. I think maybe when also with him and Connie, there was that, oh, is this going to happen and such? So I think I was starting to come to terms that this may truly just be a friendship that is just so them. And I loved how you said, just because this happens, and no matter what happens after that, doesn't mean it's cemented. It could be something that they're going through. So they need each other right now. Maybe they need this release of whatever this is, this tension, this between them, or just the chaos that's happening in this world, and them needing, something to hold on to. And so this doesn't mean that this is forever. This just means that this is what they're going through right now. So, but yes, a lot of people, oh man, I think they're up in arms about it. So
very much.
Yeah. A lot of people on social media and such. So I would love to read your article when it comes out, Renee.
Yes, I'm compiling an article of the fans react to the kiss. So it'll be a lot of fun to see all the different reactions.
I love it. I can't wait. Okay. So in talking about Daryl and Laurent and Isabel and all of them and what's happening with them, what was a highlight for you, or what stuck out to you with them?
I really enjoyed the baseball. It was just fun. It was like Daryl, Daryl never had a father figure, or a positive role model. And so he's trying to be that for Laurent, who is only being taught what the nest wants him to learn, and Daryl wants to make sure that he's got some fun knowledge like baseball and some, survival skills and things. And so I'm really enjoying their dynamic. And it's, it's kind of reminds you of, how he is with Judith and RJ.
Yeah.
And, Judith mostly because he's been around her long. But, he's always Uncle Daryl to everybody, and it's just fun to see that even though he's very, very far away from his family, he's finding that something he's very good at, he's really good with the kids and things. And so I just really enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun, and kind of that little family dynamic they got going on there, and So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And I feel like, Isabel and Daryl are, they have a common mission, and that is to do whatever's best for Laurent, because they can see some things, before they find the stuff out. They're like, they can both feel something's it's not right. They know something's up. And so it's really, they know that they need to, come together to protect him, whatever that looks like, whether being this destiny everyone thinks he has or not, whatever the best for him is. And so, I think that's been really interesting to see the two of them come together with that. And then, the Union of Hope, man, they've just kind of gone off the rails. It's one of those things where, you always find these groups and you just know something, you think, oh, it's going to be a good one this time. And nope, here we are again. And one thing that I can't think of the girl's name, the one that talks to Lo Sang all the time.
Yes. And I read her name. I thought I had committed it to my memory, and now it's gone. And it had I can't remember her name now.
I know. I feel like it started with J.
Yes. Because I thought to myself, is it silent or do you say the J, right? Because I'm like, what's her name? It's like, I don't even know what her name is.
I wonder if she's answering to somebody else. I almost feel like she's being fed information, and that could just be me reading too much into everything. But when she says things, sometimes I feel like she's getting this from someone else to pass on to him. Whoever that person is, so there could be something else. But anyway, so that was kind of my overall with Daryl. Again, I felt like this was a little bit more even. We got to see more of Daryl than we did the first episode, which we expected that to be Carol heavy. She's come back. We have to see a lot of her. So so I just felt like it was overall, we're learning a lot more about the Union of Hope and all this, that what they're trying to do in their ceremony, and it's starting to get really crazy. And I think the next episode's going to be,
even
really
more
interesting. Yes. Yeah.
So you had talked about Laurent and Daryl's relationship, and I wanted to comment on that because that is so sweet. I love when he returns, Laurent running up to him. Can't wait to be around him. He gives him his carving, and Daryl thinks, oh, this is the best thing. And I thought the same thing, how Daryl's reaction to Laurent reminded me of his relationship with Judith. And he just really cares for him so much. And I just think it's so special and so sweet and so great for Laurent also, right? Yeah. And so but of course, with that, yes, we have these religious zealots that are obsessed. It blows my mind, but I know this happens. This happens where people are more concerned about what something appears to be or proof of something, and you forget about how that impacts people, or because they're not even worried about the poor kid. They just want to show what that is gonna prove, because they want the kid to be bit and shown that he doesn't turn into a zombie, a walker, that he is so special that he can not be affected by that. And that's what that whole ceremony is, which reminded me a little bit of Fear the Walking Dead, right? When they were infecting the people. But anyway, so I'm like, wow, people just go off the rails with their, needing to prove or have faith or whatever it might be. So this entire test of faith is so twisted with these people. And I've seen it in recent movies too. And I'm sure it's based a little bit on reality, unfortunately, because people do crazy things. And also because I was saying how Daryl is in the way. So because Laurent is wanting to be with Daryl and emulate Daryl and be everything, about Daryl and such, that they're like, okay, no, Daryl's got to go. So let's put in this play. And we all knew, I think, that when you see him give him the wrong, or we all suspect it's the wrong ammo that's going in the gun. And then when Isabel and Falou were going with him, I knew that was like, oh, they didn't want them to go, but they're all going. And I loved how Sylvie found out about she recognized that they were making food that looked similar to what they feed Laurent. And she's like, but just, she kept going and going. I'm like, man, that place is big.
It is. Yeah. It was.
For her
That was really
going.
cool to watch her. But she's, she's very intuitive, and she's taking care of Laurent for how long? She was at the Abbey with them the whole time. And so she's she's got that bond with him, and she's going to do whatever she can too to protect him.
I just didn't want her to get hurt.
I know.
I'm worried about her well-being.
Oh,
so hopefully she'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just like Falou, because I thought he might die in this episode too, because when they were attacking the three of them and Emile wasn't helping him, which I already knew something was up with him too. I'm like, why is he acting that way? And then I knew. It took me a minute at first, because I thought, what's going on with him? But yeah, he drank the juice. That's what he did. So a lot is happening there now about Carol and Ash, because so much happened with them, because their plane does land in Greenland and they happen upon these people, these environmentalists that are very strange. It was so interesting to see these people, because they were really good at it. They were really good at the roles, because I kept saying, why do they seem odd? Before they even took them back to the place, I could just tell the sense there was something very odd about them. So tell me what you thought about this part.
Well, I thought that, first of all, they landed in Greenland, and I was like, land in Greenland. And it's like, okay, well, at least they're trying to give us a rational explanation how this journey even came about, or it was possible in this. So I'll give them, some kudos for that, I guess. But when the people came for it, it was like, they're too happy. I understand they're a little punchy from probably not being around other people, but yeah, there's something weird going on here. I didn't think that they were going to proposition Ash, but I didn't see that one coming. But I guess, when you're the last two people in Greenland, you're thinking, how are we going to populate the earth? So, so that was bizarre. But I thought it was interesting, though. I like how they put these weird things like this, because there's somebody out there there is the thing,
absolutely,
so I love that they take these kind of weird side stories that you're like, what's happening? But I love it, because it is, there's, the end of the world, that's going to be someone's main concern, is not survival for themselves. It's making sure there's more humans on the planet, so I thought it was very interesting. And it was, I don't know. I loved the bog walkers, though. That was cool as anything when those start coming out of the ground, and when they got back to the earth, and kind of thing. And so, there's Greg Nicotero talks a little bit about the bog walkers, is what he called them in the episode Insider at the end of the episode.
What does he call them?
Bog, B-O-G.
Okay.
Because that's kind of a boggy area kind of thing. And I think there was bog people that archaeologists had dug up, I think is what, but if you watch at the end of the episode, they have the episode Insider. Greg Nicotero does touch a little bit about those walkers. So it was pretty interesting. So I loved those. I thought that was really just another fun, little tidbit to add to it. But anyway, but these gals, they were a little crazy and all that. And they at least got away. They were able, and that was miraculous too. They also had the exact thing that Ash needed to fix the plane. And they didn't have to dig for it. Wow, he just had it laying right there on the counter. That was convenient. So just a little, and I think I obsessed too much of the timeline and of because that was my other thing in like the timeline and these little logistical things. It's like, they don't even matter. But the timeline too, I'm like, how long has this been? I don't know how long that takes to do that, and everything. So that's just me. I think I just need to get over those things and just move on. But anyway, just like Carol, she continues to have the upper hand, of course. She's calling the shots. They get to France and she's, you stay here, because she doesn't know what she's doing. She's just wandering the streets trying to find something, a clue, a person, anything. So I normally does not bother me when Carol does what Carol does. But this, I think, because the majority of the time it's against somebody that's very vile. It's a villain. It's an evil person. And she's manipulating these people and she's doing these things to those type of people. But Ash is just such an innocent. He's just this, grieving father who feels like, hey, that was my kid. He tells the gal that in Greenland, if it was my kid, I'd do this, kind of thing. And he's like, if there's even a chance that my kid would be alive, I'd do this, and it's just so frustrating to see. I know why she's doing it. It's Daryl. Yeah, I'd save Daryl too. But it's just, I'm having a lot of trouble processing this because he's just so kind and he's so willing to help her. And he's thinking of this as a father, and so it's just, it's very difficult for me for some reason. And normally I'm like, go Carol, doing all the things she does, but not this time. I'm really having a lot of trouble. And then of course, her falling in to Janae's group.
Right.
I'll let you talk more about that, but oh my gosh, it just, that's scary stuff, especially after the final scene in this episode.
Yes, exactly. So the people in Greenland, Hannah and Ian. So, okay. We already knew something was going to happen to her, but when she picked up that crossbow, and I saw that Carol picked up something, I really wasn't sure what she picked up, but I knew it was something probably to defend herself because she was going to like, where are we going with this? And then of course she points it at her and Carol talks her down, but Carol legitimately looked a little concerned there, but of course she knew how to talk her down. We'll take you with us and you'll have another life and, you can go on. And then of course, then we see the other one with Ash saying what she wants, but I wanted to know, and Ash's face is like, what the heck? What's happening? But I want to know what made her leave. What made her leave Ash and Ash didn't follow her. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure he's like, oh, they're going to go kill Carol. And would she say, oh, wait here, let me go make sure she's dead. So there was kind of a weird, what happened? Why did she come back?
Because I was surprised. Because we just saw her come back to the little bunker or whatever.
Yeah, all by herself.
Yeah.
What was her reasoning of leaving? I mean, did she have her way with Ash and we don't know it? I don't know. I don't know what happened. But yeah, so it was just, she says, I held up my end.
Yeah.
What about you? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, we'll let that one go.
So, and then of course she walks her over and then Ash fires the flare gun and then she's down on the ground. Of course, I'm saying shoot her in the head. Shoot her in the head. My first thought,
I know.
Anytime anybody gets killed, it's like shoot her in the head. Don't just leave them there. But anyway, so then they take off, go to France. Now, I thought, I didn't think about this. You may very well be right. I thought that Carol told Ash not to come with her because she doesn't honestly want him to get hurt because she feels guilt that he already had to shoot somebody for her. And she's like, shit, I don't want to be responsible.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I wasn't that. It was like, oh no, you stay here. So you can find me out. Of course, that serves her. So I'm sure
it's a little both,
I think it's a little bit of both.
But no, that makes sense. I didn't think of it that way. I just thought she was like, you just stay here while I go figure out what I'm doing. But that makes good sense though. Cause I don't think she wants him to come to harm. I don't think that at all. It's just, I'm just having trouble with how her process, I guess, so I don't think she wants him to be hurt or anything. So that could very well be more of what she was trying to do than what I was thinking.
Or it could just serve both. Like we said, it's just probably a little both, right? It's just, she doesn't want him hurt. And let's not find out what I'm really doing here right now because
I'm flying by the seat of my pants here.
And I don't want you. I really do think she really cares about him, though. I really do. I really don't think she wants him hurt. Plus, she wants to get home. If something happens to him, how are they getting home? Get back. So she needs him to be good. And stay here. And she's like, oh, stay here for 2 weeks. I'm like, well, he's got to eat and get stuff. I don't know what's going to happen here. But it was nice to see Carol see the Eiffel Tower, see France and the music playing in the background and her walking, toward the city to get there. So I thought that was, kind of cool. And then And then, yes, so she happens upon what is happening here. And I love when Carol does all this because she's like, oh, there's some food. Let me go grab some. Oh, let me make a hole in this grain so that it can
find out where he's going.
Yes, I can find out where it's going. Yeah. And then she follows him. Now, I was surprised that she gave up her weapon. I'm like, what is she doing? Why is she doing this? I just thought I wasn't expecting that of her. I'm like, why are you giving up your weapon? So maybe everybody was to get into this square that they were at.
There. But I mean, it's still uncharacteristic for Carol. I agree. She would have found some way to get around it, I think.
But I thought that it was pretty ballsy of her because Carol's all, you know what? I don't need the weapon. I'm going to rely on me because I can get myself out of almost anything. And she just, flies by the seat of her pants. She really does. So, which is what I love about her because she's like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. There'll be something I can use for a weapon.
Yeah, and if she had Ash with her, she wouldn't have been able to do this. So I just think he's too green.
Yeah.
It's like, stay back here. Take care of the plane. Do your plane stuff. Let me go handle this. I got to go find Daryl and I'll be back. Yeah. So then she gets captured by Janae's people and she's in the vehicle with the one guy who hears her speaking English. And of course, that one guy's all, where are they taking my friend? And it's like, they're taking your friend to be a test subject or something. But so let's talk about the other people, the villains, Janae, and any further relationships that you want to talk about. What stuck out to you?
Yeah, she is turning out to be quite the villain. So it's pretty cool to watch her, kind of peel back her layers and kind of see more of what, I still don't quite understand her end game, like what she wants from her revolution, I mean, maybe I missed that in earlier episodes and things. I'll have to go back and look for sure to see what their stance is and what,
Yeah.
Because I still don't quite grasp that and I could have just missed it. But yeah, she is a dangerous woman and I feel like she is just willing to do whatever, anything, obviously, too, because I think it's Cadron. I can't remember how you say it for sure. The French, but I had said last week, I think on our podcast, I said that guy, I can't think of his name. You know the one. My brain, I totally lost him. That's who I was speaking of, and there he is in the torture chair.
I wanted to ask you. I wasn't 100% sure it was him because I didn't see his tattoo on his face.
Yeah, it's him. It was all bloody. Yeah, it's him.
Because I thought that should be him. And then they show
he has
watch and all that. Yes. So I'm like, wait, that has to be him. But why don't I see the
I think that whole side of his face was just blood. Yeah, I think I saw it in one thing or whatever. But yeah, that was definitely him. And so, we know he ticked her off in the last season.
Yeah, I think
for letting everybody go and all that. So now she's, trying to find out where they are. And
how'd she find out?
How'd she find out what?
That he did that he let him go, that he let Daryl and Isabel and all them go. How would he really know?
I think she talked, like she said, I think it was kind of one of those, that's strange. They escaped kind of thing. And then it was kind of I don't know if he said it or if someone else gave it. I don't know for sure. But yeah, he was with her, and she was questioning him and his loyalties and all that at the end of last season. And I guess I don't remember the exact, I almost felt like she wiggled it out of it. Like,
probably, he probably didn't deny it either.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what. Like she's like, that's odd. They got all escaped, kind of thing. And so I kind of feel like it was something like that. And then she's like, okay, well, where they are. And so it'll be interesting to see what he does because he does know where they are, right? I mean, like he saw that. I mean, because he has the pocket watch, and he looked at the image and figured it out. I think. At the end, see, I'll have to go back and look because I think he did figure it out. So I don't know why he would protect them if he just felt. I mean, I know he protected them. I think because Laurent's a child. I think that's a big part of it was that he didn't want to kill a child, But I don't know what else because we see in one of the trailers or teasers or whatever for this season, we do see him on the street. Cadron is in like a jacket, a coat, like a almost uniformish type thing, and he's on the street. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see
how he gets out and what happens.
Or do they? Yeah, do they pump him full of some medicine stuff and make him go out. And I don't know. I mean, it's just crazy how all the things that they're experimenting with, do they do something to him and make him go out? And I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I was shocked to see that. I mean, of course, I don't have a problem with the brutality and the gore and things like that. But I think a lot of people were, like, whoa, here we are. What's happening? Because it hasn't been that bloody, or, we haven't seen a whole lot of guts and things in the Daryl Dixon series.
And also, human to human doing in that way, somebody actually torturing another human being because they want something. So Madam Genet, man, she's just increasingly more and more dangerous. So it's kind of crazy, which is great, right? Because we get all excited, not because we like her, but because it's just all the more that when she gets it, we're going to enjoy it all the more.
When Carol gets her, that's what I hope.
Yeah. Well, and when you were talking about Cadron being possibly, how does he get away? Maybe Carol helps him somehow. Yeah. Maybe because doesn't he say Dixon or something like that?
Somebody
so she
does.
Probably hears him. And so then she's like, oh, Daryl, let me get you out of here because you need to help me find him.
Because like the next in the preview for the next episode, he's like leaning up against the wall, like in prison, and says something in Dixon. Yes, you're right. So okay, interesting.
Carol does it.
She looks Carol.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. She always has herself in the right place at the right time because she knows how to put on those personas and whoever she needs to get, whatever she needs to get. So, oh man, and so also I saw like a lot of faith and relationships in this. And of course, we've already talked about the Union of Hope and they're just obsessed with doing what they need to do for faith. They think that this is what they need to do to show their faith and for all the followers to, not abandon and have an uprising.
But what's the end game? Okay. So say they do the ceremony with Laurent. He doesn't get affected. What's next? I mean, it doesn't mean that, I know they always talk about, they can use, if he's immune, they can use the blood. That's not a guarantee anywhere that will work. Nobody's ever proven because they've never had a person for sure be unaffected. You know what I mean? Like, so I never understand what the end game is,
I think, while that is going to help everybody, I don't think because it's so faith ridden for them, I don't really think it's the cure part. I think that they are just like, we need to show that he is divine. He is divine somehow. And this will prove it. And then everybody will follow and will, everybody will know how important this is because I mean, I think you watched it, right? When watching the Vikings show.
Just not all of it, but some of it, yeah.
Okay. They are both of them on their gods, the Christian and the Vikings. It is everything about their gods. They do everything for their gods. Yeah. Like it is like life or death. It is honor. And so it is so important. So I think here, that's what that woman wants. She wants to prove to people, look, what we believe in, it's tangible. Look, this child has it because again, he is the divine one and we're proving it to you. See this miracle that's happening. So I think for her, now I think it might be other things for everybody else because everybody else would be like, wow, a cure. Great. Let's take this kid, get his blood and maybe it has some antidote to what is happening. But it's going to be so interesting to see how this all plays out. But back into the relationships, I also wanted to talk about Daryl and Isabel and Carol and all of their relationship because they all have a lot of faith in each other too, because Daryl kissing Isabel, we haven't seen him be quite this vulnerable before. Yes, there was Leah, but why do I feel like that's different for some reason? I don't know. It just felt different to me than this does. And he was very vulnerable there too, but I just think that he is showing a vulnerability and that he has to trust her. He has to trust her with Laurent on her judgment. And I mean, because even though she's a nun now, Daryl kissing a nun, that's so funny, but she's been on the streets. She's been on drugs. So she's pretty street savvy too, right? She's not just this pure angelic person. So yeah, so I think that there's a lot of trust within their relationship. And I also think with Daryl and Carol, even though haven't seen each other yet, both of them have trust in their relationships of what those mean to each of them. And Carol continuing to look for him at any cost. Can you imagine a friend coming? If you had a friend and they're like, I'm coming to get you, I'm coming to France. I mean, he doesn't know this, but still, that's just such a big leap of faith to go to another country. And it's all that, trust and faith on that relationship. So yeah. So it's just, that's what I saw as a theme throughout this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That kiss, I don't know what it's going to do with the dynamics here. I'm really eager to see what that means for all of them. Will it complicate, will it make things better? I don't know. So was there any other tidbits or surprises or anything else you wanted to bring up about the episode?
I was surprised, Ash, that was his first human kill. I mean, all these years, and I know he had his compound where he stayed pretty safe and whatever, but he had to encounter people at some point, so it was very interesting that he was kind of on his Morgan journey where he's not going to kill people and kind of thing, which, it would be tough. I mean, even, look back at like Glenn, when did, it was a long time before Glenn killed his first human, but it's just one of those things that's, it's not easy for anyone, but some people, man, they just, so it was, so I thought that was really an interesting little bit of information about him. And I thought it was a decent episode, it was, and I guess other surprises, just with those Greenland people, that was definitely a surprise.
Yeah.
The whole situation was a surprise.
Yeah.
So I guess the, Ash, his first kill, the Greenland people, and then the kiss, I think, were my surprise moments.
Yes. I totally agree. Those are mine too. I'm all looking at my notes. I'm like, oh yeah. So yeah, it's just that flare gun kill. That was surprising.
That was cool.
And it being his first kill. And that kiss, yep, I was surprised with that. And I think just Carol giving up her gun, I was a little bit surprised about that.
That was when you mentioned that. That was, I was like, oh yeah, that was a surprise.
All right. So I want to get to our question of the day, because it is about that kiss. And that's why I waited till we talked about it all. And so I want to know if Daryl is destined to leave with Carol, or has his journey taken a turn with Isabel?
My answer is, why does it have to be an either or situation? What if they all leave together? We know season 3 is going to be set and filmed in Spain. Something's happening. Someone's going there. We don't know who, who will survive. There's a lot of, there's still several episodes left. There's 4 episodes left. Lots of things can happen. But I guess in my opinion, it doesn't have to be an either or situation. He has asked Isabel and Laurent to come with him to keep them both safe, to keep especially Laurent safe, because they know this is not a safe situation for him. These people, want to do crazy things to him. And so he's going to do what he can to protect him. He doesn't know Carol is right there. She's, very close right now, and, right compared to where she, in the US. And there's no reason that all 3 of them, or 5, whatever, 4 of them, and maybe Ash, I don't know, all could go together, They obviously couldn't all go to the plane, but someone's going, tie them onto the wing. I don't know. They did that. There was the Mummy. They did that in the Mummy. But anyway, but I feel like this could definitely be a situation where Carol finds Daryl. Daryl's like, hey, I've got these 2 people. Carol's like, of course they're coming with us because that's what they do. And maybe Ash, too, if he's still around, if it's not 2 weeks and he left. And I could see them all journeying to Spain together for whatever's next.
This question is hard for me, but I think that yes, they will all go together, and I only think that because she has to shift now because they've just tried to kill Daryl. And she's like, wait, this isn't the place that I thought it was.
Yeah.
But unless something else changes on the faith level, or if this place needs them. But like you said, we know that they're heading to Spain. So it makes me feel like either Laurent and Isabel will end up staying here because they'll have a purpose that they need to stay. Otherwise, I think they can go with them. So, did this kiss change things? That's the basic question. Did
Absolutely.
Kiss change things? I think it did, but I think the hard part would be if Isabel says, I'm not going to go with you. Why don't you just stay? And Laurent says that to him. And then Daryl will have to make a decision. Daryl will have to say, okay, I need to stay here now, or no, I need to go home. And that's going to be the hard part. I don't know what's going to happen. So let's hope that doesn't happen. This kiss really did do something, I think. I mean, in people's minds anyway. I mean, whether it'll do anything in the story, I don't know. But I don't know. What do you guys think out there? We want to know, what did this kiss do? Did it change Daryl's direction here? Is he going to leave with Carol? Or is it going to pivot? We want to know what you think. So let us know here on YouTube or on social media, or you can call us at 669-223-8542, because this is a really important question and we want to know what you have to say about it. All right. We are at our segment and the award goes to. So I want to know, with all this that happened, Renee, who does your award go to? What was your favorite quote, character, or moment?
I'm going to go back to those bog walkers, because I thought that was just really a cool scene. And I thought it was just, it's always exciting to see these, the creators of these series to just like reinvent the undead every time we turn around. They, change them to fit the environments they're in. They change them to fit all these new locations. And so, it's just a lot of fun to see this. The Walking Dead has always been, a pioneer in how they've done this, with, Greg Nicotero, in charge of all this. Him and his group are just phenomenal. Yeah. And so I just loved that. I thought it was great. They're popping up out of the ground and, everything. And yeah, so I just thought that was a really cool scene. So that's what I'm giving my award to.
I screamed. I out loud, like I screamed when when they were coming out, like grabbing Carol's, feet, legs, and then the other part, and she's like, Ash. Yeah. I was screaming. I'm like, like out loud, like high pitched scream. Oh my goodness! So I just thought that was really scary. Okay, so I'm having a really a hard time, because it's two different moments, and of course one. The kiss. Okay. I'm sorry. The kiss is, and again, it's because of Daryl, seeing Daryl in that mode, or that just being so vulnerable and actually kissing someone and receiving a kiss. I don't know. I just think it's a really big moment for him. And so I feel that for him. But then also the other thing was Ash and his relationship with Carol. Cause to me, he really, to have his first kill be for a person that he just met. I think that just meant a lot. That was huge. Yeah. Something that he did, wasn't even for him or his child or anything. It was for somebody else that he just met. And to be able to do that for another human being, it's very special. I mean, it's not special to kill somebody, but it's special to do something because you value that person that so much. Yeah. And that friendship. And it happens to be one of our people that he did it for. So I just thought that was pretty special. So sorry, I'm not picking just one, you guys. I have to pick two.
I think that's fine.
Yeah. So what do you take away from this episode? What did you think overall of this episode? And what are you anticipating for the next episode?
Well, I just feel like this season isn't as dynamic as the first, and maybe because, the first is always more exciting or something, but it's kind of, I guess I want to see more. I mean, we're seeing a lot though. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just, like I said, I'm just too picky about things. But anyway, I think seeing that final scene with the torture chair, I think that is eye-opening to the measures that Janae will take to do what she needs to do. She is brutal. And she's got this army of, we don't know, I guess, I don't remember if we've ever heard a number of how many people she has in her group, but a lot, you know what I mean? Like and they're listening to her, they're taking orders from her. And with her, this torture obviously was her idea and, putting him in there. I just think that's going to be, that's going to really, it's going to change things with her and her pursuit of finding Laurent and Daryl and Isabel and everybody at the nest. So I think it's going to get pretty exciting here when she starts really branching out here and doing this. And, and I just think that, I want to see what happens with Ash. That's another thing are we going to ever see him again? Because a lot of times, we've had the series where it's left to, okay, we don't know what happened to that character, and that could easily happen because Carol could maybe not circle around to, it might not be within her power to serve. Maybe they have to flee to Spain. There could be all kinds of reasons. So I worry we'll never see Ash again because I really want to see more of him, but we'll see what happens there. But overall, I thought it was a good episode. And I'm just really excited to see what happens. And then, how long do we have to wait for this reunion? The ones who live, we got it, in episode 2? So here, I kind of feel like this one's going to take a little longer. I feel like it'll be towards the end of the season. So it'll be, but maybe I'm wrong.
So I actually really love this episode more so than the first episode is what I mean. I thought it was more exciting. I felt it really moved forward. It just Carol, the fact, like I said, she was so left to her own devices. Like the fact that she put her weapon down and that woman grabbed it and she was still able to convince her not to do it. And then she puts her weapon down again and is, she's not even afraid. Like she's just like, okay, we're going somewhere. Let me just assess what's happening next and go. It's so amazing to see Carol. And it makes me excited because I love her personality and how she is. So I love seeing all that. I've said it a million times already now, but the whole kiss and Daryl he's just we haven't seen this. So here we see this from him. And when are they going to reunite? I was hoping it would be next episode. How much further can they? I guess maybe that's part of it. The thing is though, if Daryl knew that Carol was around, then that would put an urgency in him, but he doesn't know yet. So we don't feel that yet. Where Carol, she's going to learn of Daryl Dixon's name, I believe, in this next episode. We'll be anticipating what is going to happen. I'm looking forward. I want to know the ceremony. How, when is that going to happen and how are they? That's probably what's going to happen this next episode. So I'm agreeing with you. They probably aren't going to do it this next episode, maybe the one after it. How many do we have? 6 or 8?
6.
Okay, 6. I don't know why I thought someone was going to possibly give us 2 more, but 6. Yeah. So it's got to be by the 3rd episode already. When is it going to be? I don't know, man. We got to take in these 6 episodes. All right. We'll see what happens in episode 3. That's a wrap up of Daryl Dixon. So besides watching this, Renee, I would love to know what else you're watching and what else you recommend.
So I recently watched a new Netflix rom-com, Nobody Wants This. And I've heard several people that I look at to see what they like to watch and things have commented on how good it is and things. So I watched the first episode and it was like super short. These are like, I'm talking less than 30-minute episodes. They're quick. And I'm like, wait, what just happened? But it's such a cute story. It's Kristen Bell and Adam Brody. And she is she's a LA podcaster, kind of speaks her mind. She's an agnostic who meets a rabbi and they click. They just like click. And it's just such a cute story. It's so much fun. It's just, I binged it like in a very couple days because it was just, the short, and there's only 8 episodes, maybe 8 or 10. I forget. It's just not a lot of episodes either, but it's such a good story. Great actors, great Tova. I don't know how you say her last name from The Walking Dead. Tova Feldshuh. It's FeldshUH. She played Deanna.
The name.
Yeah. Deanna.
Yeah. You know what? It's so funny. I thought it was her, but then she looked different. I'm like,
Yeah,
wait,
well,
is
it's been
that
several
her?
years.
Or
Yeah, it's
is she
been
somebody else that looks like her?
Yeah, no, it's her.
So I could, because that's when I first thought, oh, that's her. And then I'm like, wait, is that her? I'm like, oh yeah, that's her. And I'm like, wait, is it her?
Yeah, but it's been
Questioning
several
myself.
years,
Yes.
since she was
Yeah.
Sarah Vienna. But yeah, so she plays Adam Brody's mom in this show, and
Yeah.
I just the his older brother. I can't think of the actor's name right now. I haven't seen. He's been in a lot of things, but I don't
Oh,
remember.
yes.
He's so
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, he's just a funny guy, and it's just So I just really, really enjoyed it, and I recommend that one.
Yeah, who he has on his speed dial is hilarious to me. So, without giving anything away, it is a very cute series. I couldn't agree more. I watched this. I really liked it. I did it within 2 days also. I'm like, this is so good. I think one of the things that I really liked is that they are not super young, right?
Yeah.
They're older couple. Not old. I don't mean older, but I think they're actually in their 40s, but they're playing 30s people. So I just thought,
the story is actually based on Erin. I think her name's Erin Foster is the creator. It's based on her actual relationship with her husband. She converted before they got married to Judaism. And so it's kind of loosely based on their interactions and how they came, to be a couple and stuff. So I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was so great. And, I listen to Armchair Expert all the time, and they are, of course, Dax is married to Kristen Bell. So they were on the podcast, and I was just listening to it like a couple days ago. I had to listen to it in 2 parts. But so if you want to watch that, or if you have watched it and you want to go listen to that podcast episode with them, they talk about, because they've been friends for a long time and they really respect one another. And she had to convince him to do this role, and now he's known as the sexy rabbi.
Yes, I love that.
And they talk about the kiss that they, kisses, not kiss, and just the relationship. And it's just it's really, I like it when I can listen to them too, talk about, their roles and how it came to be in certain scenes. So it was fun. So you should check out the series and then check out the podcast episode, because it's really good.
Yep. Yeah, and then we keep going through. We haven't watched a lot of new stuff because we're in the middle of a couple series, but we are doing some horror movies. So we watched Urban Legend yesterday. I forgot about all the different people that are in that. Right now my brain just lost everybody, but Jared Leto and Alicia Witt. But it's all those familiar characters from that that era. It's just about a murderer, serial killer acting out urban legends, and so but it's a good one. So. That's about all the things recently I've watched. Besides my series.
I was thinking about all your homework list. I'm like, she has a big homework list to get through. She needs to watch Bates Motel, and she needs to watch, there was something else that you have to watch. Aliens.
Aliens. Yes.
Motel. And why do I think there's another one that
I know? I was like, I thought there were 3. Well, I'm doing Games of Thrones. I know that was one of mine, so I'm working on that one. That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, it is. I know you're watching a lot. Okay, so I have been a Love Is Blind fan. In the summer, I watched Love Is Blind UK, and it was really good. And I've watched all the previous seasons of US Love Is Blind. So I'm sitting there flicking through what I'm going to watch next, and all of a sudden, Netflix tells you it's all Love Is Blind. I'm like, why does it tell me Love Is Blind? I've already seen all Love Is Blind. I'm like, what? Another episode? Another season? So I click on it. It's a new season 7. So I'm so excited. I haven't finished it. I just started it. I'm in a couple episodes. So I'm hooked on that for right now. I'm sure I'll get tired and burnt out after a while, but I'm still enjoying it. It's really fun to see people fall in love sight unseen, as they say. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them last, some of them don't last. But it's kind of nice that at least some people last, because, if you're watching The Bachelor or anything else, hardly anybody ever lasts on those. So the odds are a little bit better in this favor. So, but I did watch 2 movies. One was Salem's Lot, and I didn't know that it was actually already coming out. I knew it was, we were anticipating it. It's on Max. It's with Lewis. Is it Lewis? Lewis Pullman, who is Bill Pullman.
I like him.
Yeah. Did you watch this by chance? This
Not yet.
movie? Okay.
No.
So I watched it. It's funny. I liked it, but it's not super scary. It wasn't funny, but it did have this sort of comic undertone to it because you couldn't take it seriously. It was so silly, a lot of it. It's not like super gory or horrific or anything like that. So I enjoyed it. I was fine with it. So, I'll say it's a decent movie. And so I also watched Wolves with Brad Pitt and George Clooney. I had seen that this was coming on, and I had also seen that Austin Abrams was in this.
Yeah.
So
I know. I want to see it.
Yeah, I'd seen previews. I'm like, oh, I want to watch this. I thought it was really good. It's an comedy action movie, basically. They are both George Clooney and Brad Pitt are both like fixers. So when something happens, they come in to, if people are in the public eye or people are rich or whatever it is, they come in to clean the circumstances and make it like it never happened. But they're each called for the same one. And then they're like, well, this is my job. No, this is my job. And then they're like trying to one up each other, not let each other in on what's happening. So I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, Austin plays.
That's not giving it away. It's in the trailer. It
is.
It tells us.
Yeah. So he is the person who's supposed to be dead. And they're supposed to clean it up. And he's not.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, I was so impressed with Austin. When you see it and you see the part where he goes off on this monologue and starts saying everything he's saying, it was so good. He plays the character so well. It's just really well done. So I think it was really well done. It was very entertaining and I enjoyed it. And I like seeing these 2 guys back at it together. And so I thought it was good. So I would recommend that one.
And they're doing a sequel
to that.
They've already,
oh,
because I guess Clooney and Pitt, they weren't very thrilled that it wasn't in theater. You know, they're box office guys, right? So I guess they weren't too thrilled that Apple pulled it sooner than they thought and put it on the streaming or whatever. But obviously not too much because they agreed that everything I read was from reliable sources was that they had signed on for the sequel. So I mean, things can fall through or whatever. So we'll see.
Well, what is interesting is that it ends without showing you what happens to them. So it kind of gives the ending away. You didn't really expect them probably not to come back, but it left you with no specific ending.
Yeah. That's probably why they're planning. Yeah.
They're just faced with something, the both of them. So it's kind of like, oh, and so, so we'll see how this number 2 goes. And I'd watch it. It was just a fun watch. I like them too. So it was good. And like I said, Austin was just a good person to be in it because he's a young guy. And there is a super long scene with him running through the streets in his underwear. And I thought, that's interesting. He's just running around and they're chasing him down. And so I thought, is this your role? Because I thought maybe that was all it was going to be, but no, he comes in later. And so I was really happy for him in this role.
Yeah.
So wait, and I don't even know if I mentioned, but he's in The Walking Dead. So that's why we're talking about who he is. He was
Ron.
He played Ron, but it was when when they were all first came to Alexandria. So yeah. All right. And so friends out there, also we have Screams in Focus. So we have a Halloween series that gives you TV and movie recommendations and also where we talk about all of our classics and new TV and horror out there. And the latest one was just out. Renee was in it. We did iconic women in horror. So you should check it out. It's a great episode. And we have 2 more coming out. So look for those on Tuesdays. And of course, Daryl Dixon episodes are coming out on Fridays. So check it out. And be sure to follow Renee. Her links are in the show notes, and check out that article on the kiss. And yeah, so did you want to say anything else about that?
No,
Renee?
just I appreciate you always plugging my site. But yeah, Undead Walking, check us out. We try to cover a lot of stuff, and just check it out. It's fun.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Renee. Thank you for joining me today. I love it.
I know. It's always so much fun.
Until next week.
Yeah.
All right. Friends out there, thank you so much for tuning in. We are so grateful you tuned in, and we hope something that we said today gave you a smile, a chuckle, some inspiration. Remember to follow Screens in Focus at screensinfocus.com. And please share this podcast with a friend. And just remember to keep watching, keep exploring, and keep those screens in focus. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.